Thanks for listening to Uncle Sam's Soccer Podcast, keeping you up to date with the latest in American soccer. And don't forget to subscribe.
Hello and welcome to Uncle Sam's Soccer Podcast. I'm Armand Kafai, and joining me today is Steven Jodrin. We sit down with Atlanta United's first-round pick in the 2019 MLS SuperDraft, Anderson Asiedu, today. Make sure to follow the pod at Uncle Sam's Soccer Pod on Twitter, and to give us a 5-star review on iTunes, Spotify, or any other listening platform. Now, let's get to today's show. Hey, Steven, is it still cold over there in Wisconsin?
Don't rub it in.
Is it still cold? I think it's freezing, huh?
Yeah, okay, good one, Armand.
Cold over here too. It's pretty cold over here, too. Don't worry.
Yeah, what, 52 degrees?
Yeah, like more like 20, 30. But, we're getting lower now. I'm getting, I don't get cold anymore. That's the funny thing. Because all you guys do when I say I'm cold, you just make fun of me. So, I stopped getting cold. I actually cannot get cold. My mom's like, why are you walking out and, barely or anything? Like, Mom, I don't get cold. I'm immune because, Steven and Jake have constantly roasted me for being warm or something like that.
That's just North Texas, my man.
See, the disrespect I get on this pod. My God.
Armand, I was going to ask you, just on a very, very side note, you are actually going, MLS is actually starting their preseason. And you're going to a preseason game this afternoon. I know we're recording Saturday, and the result is going to be meaningless. But it looks like MLS is kicking into gear now, huh?
I feel like I haven't taken a break from MLS since the MLS Cup. Yeah, you have transfer rumors. You have weird draft drama. You have weird drama in general in terms of, the Kaku transfer saga. You have all these transfers falling in and out. I feel like I haven't taken a break from MLS, and it's going to be good to see some action on the pitch that's going to be meaningless, and I probably won't take any stock into it, but hey, it's going to be fun to see good old Toyota Stadium once again.
With a crowd size of 2,000.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, well, it's also, the weather's actually crappy down there, right?
It's also cold, and
and
they're playing Bayern U23s. I guess that's an appetizing matchup. I know some people from San Antonio. Shout out Harry will be at the San Antonio vs Dallas match. We get to talk to one of our loyal listeners over there. So hey, listeners, if you're ever in the Dallas area, shoot me a DM on Twitter, and we can always go chat. Talk about soccer. Go grab some alcoholic beverages since I'm 21 now, and just chat about soccer.
Or if you're in Minnesota, you got Jake there. Or if you're in Madison, Wisconsin, you got myself. Love to chat some more soccer with our listeners. But Armand, one of the big talking points is how Atlanta United transitions into this new season with Champions League play and a new head coach, and what they will be gunning for. It'll be really interesting to see that dynamic. Do you think they put a lot of weight into trying to get that Champions League trophy?
Yes, I think they do, which means players like Anderson Asiedu are really important to the team. Let's think about it. If you're going to go all in at Champions League, you need depth for, MLS matches because you're going to have fatigued players, and you need depth overall because, like we saw with, I think, TFC, they went to the CCL final, they kind of crashed out. Meanwhile, Red Bull went to the CCL semifinal, crashed out of MLS, CCL semifinal, and they seem to be fine because they have that depth. They have that Red Bull too. They have all that depth and they have players that can call in and out, and the team would still be fine. So I think they need that, and they will go all out. And I think that's also why players like Asiedu are going to be so important for Atlanta, because they give Atlanta that depth.
Yeah, no doubt. So, listeners, up next is our interview with Anderson, and part of the audio is a little bit choppy. We just had a little bit of a connection issue, so there are some bumps and bruises, but overall it's fine. It's a great listen. So here is our interview with Anderson Asiedu. Joining us right now is Atlanta United's first-round draft pick in the 2019 MLS SuperDraft, Anderson. Anderson, forgive me for that.
Anderson Asiedu.
There you go. Forgive me. Forgive me for mispronouncing.
Anderson Asiedu. No problemos. No problemos.
How's the preseason going in LA?
So far so good, boss. Everything is going great. Great atmosphere, great weather. The weather wasn't good for a couple of days, but now it's back to LA weather. Sunny, sunshine, beautiful days. Can't complain. Just out here enjoying every day.
Absolutely, Anderson. And there was a great story by Doug Roberson in the AJCs. I suggest listeners you go listen to it. Just talking about your journey. And it talked about how you were never supposed to leave Ghana, how you were supposed to sleep on the floor space provided by coaches during Christmas break, and how you were supposed to be too small to be drafted, but now you're drafted by the MLS champs. I want to just go back to your days in Ghana. What was the daily life for you back in Ghana?
Village. I know my last guy. From the big city, but I was from a small village in Ghana, so my life story over there wasn't as much entertaining. You wake up in the morning, you go play with friends, school, and that's it. You gotta hustle to make the day means. Nobody in the family have really much to say, to do, and financially. So you wake up, it's all on you to make something out of your day. That was how my day was in Ghana. Yeah.
Anderson, how did you fall in love with the sport?
I grew up with my dad was a soccer player. He played in my village for a long. He played in actually like the Ghana Premier League back in 1999. He was like a big superstar in Ghana, but I was little, so I wasn't paying attention. I didn't know how much about it, So, I used to go watch my dad play. Sometimes he would sneak me into the field to watch him play, and through that, I started, kicking the ball when I was like 8. Started playing with kids in my town, my village. And that was it. We formed a team. We played, from town to town game. We go to, area to area. We play gala. We play this team on this area. We go there. So that's how the love came, And once we started that, this can be something good, and then we added school to it. Now we got to play in school teams, like school tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
So you go to school and you play school tournament. But sometimes, for us, nobody was going to pay our tuition for us to go to school. So, once we get to like the senior high school and all of that, you got to pay to go. So now it's free in Ghana. But at my time, it wasn't free because the government, it was hard, So, but I was lucky to play it in school and get to, play with school by school because the area guys you play with, majority of them go to different schools. So we get a chance to compete against each other as same as we play in the area tournament. So that's how the love came, and then from there, we took this. But once time goes on, there was like a guy who came to Ghana, to visit from St. Benedict's Prep. So he came. He was from a village. He came there, to see some guys play, but we didn't know that was his mission, the vacation, because now when you come there, you can't really, let people know what you're there for, but he has a family, so he told his family that he was there for vacation. So he went to, he was going to pick players from the bigger cities. And his auntie was our headmistress for senior high school. So he came to our village, and then we played like a tournament, and he picked some guys. And that was how I got to be in the state. I was the one chosen among the guys he picked. That was like a lucky, like at the same time, God put everything in everybody's life for a reason. So that's how I ended up in the state. I ended up here in Benedict, Life wasn't as much easy, but didn't know much about English. Didn't speak the language, but still were patient with life. just take one day at a time, still believing in ourselves that there will still be hope one day. And then from there, they told me that I have to pass my school so that I can be college. Otherwise, they got to take me back to Ghana because I'm international. So if I don't get a visa from another college, I won't be able to stay here. So, never keep Ghana. And I didn't want to go back to Ghana. So I did the best every day. I work hard at whatever I'm doing, with school, with soccer. I train hard, and then I passed on the test, ACTs, and then I was able to, okay, now I can get I got to get a good GPA to get into good colleges, While I was out there, I was there, Grace, Tyler, and they held me down. There was backbone here. They helped me out with everything I needed. They supported me. They helped me out with everything, financially, make me a better person, and that's a lot of stress out of the body, so it's all about getting that. Because I'm not worried about too much. My family back in Canada, they're all doing good. I let them know that I'm going to school, so I can't really give anything yet. So it was all about now how can you work hard to become who you want to be? Because you do everything you need to be, Use the opportunity that I got long got on the way,
So Anderson, you kind of touched upon it, at least lifestyle-wise, coming from Ghana to America. I mean, in America, they do talk about the college game, and how it's used and whatnot. What was soccer like in college for you when you were playing, at Monmouth and then UCLA?
I found it a little bit. Soccer here was a little bit good. I went to see how soccer, because I wasn't very ready for a big college because I just moved here my junior year and senior year. So I really do 2 years as a student in America. So I wasn't really ready for the bigger school lifestyle, and I didn't want to go to like a bigger school where I can't really do much with school-wise, and then I will get my visa taken out. I went to like a small place like Monmouth, education-wise. But soccer-wise, there was a big adjustment, like when I was at Monmouth, it wasn't, the players you play around make you better too, So the challenges and the competition over there, the conference win wasn't great for me. If I was able to graduate from Monmouth, there wouldn't be much people to see me as who I am as a player, So, but I went to UCLA. You can see they play good soccer. They keep the ball, like everything is much better, because it's the program wise, I'm saying, like how much you can see both program, the conference you played in, you play with, big conference, big competition, like my first time I was playing like a big year for UCLA. We played against Maryland, like 9,000 people watching, fans, so all of those type of stuff was a little bit adjustment that that made it much interesting and much better from Monmouth to UCLA. So the adjustment was good, but it was a different ball game around, because now you're competing with bigger teams and bigger players, I'm saying, players that are like ranked in the nation, So if you can compete with them, you set yourself like among them as well, because you're playing with them and you can compete with them, But Monmouth wasn't at that level yet, So that's the things that I discovered, and it helped me out to become the person I was. If I was a Monmouth, the challenge was still not bigger for me. But I came to UCLA, played at Stanford, like a bigger program, and it makes the competition much better and harder for people to see that, okay, he can play with a bigger team and bigger challenge, Yeah, I think that was the difference between both of them, but it was good. Both set me in very good. One helped me out to be ready for the other. So, I can't really say much about it, but all I can say was a great opportunity for me to build myself in both environments.
What was the thought process of the MLS draft was that on the radar when you had make the move to UCLA?
Yeah. That was my goal. Yeah, because I knew that I was still, like when I was a mom at that age, like him and Watchers, I managed, like a small program, like after my freshman year. So I knew that I can still, if I was at bigger college that year, I could go to, like, get drafted, from with a good age, and I could have get drafted. But my family always thought about me, about school, the importance of education in America. So I always wanted to kind of like finish the school or like be very close to graduate. I didn't want to leave in between, and I knew that I will get the opportunity to play the next level because it's all about the hard work you put in. So from my mind, that's what I'm hearing. That's what I want to do because without that, what else am I going to do? I can graduate, get a degree, but I can't really get a job like that, but this is my job. So I always treat it with respect, and I always believe in myself and have hope that one day it can help me become who I want to be. So I had that at the back of my mind that, of course, that's my end product. I want to go to the MLS. I want to make it. So this is a dream come true.
And Anderson, when you got drafted by Atlanta at 24, what were your thoughts and emotions just when your name was called at the SuperDraft?
Life is all about patience. I knew that I was going to get drafted, and I didn't know where I was going to go. All I wanted was somebody who wanted to believe in me and who wanted to give me the opportunity. But what made it the most was getting called by the number one team in the nation. In the country, and you consider yourself one of the best players in college soccer, and you end up going to the best program in the country. So that made everything like, this is very, very good because God put me in a spot where I'm going to be with the best people and the best program, so you can't really ask much for this, there's nothing better than this. So I was very excited emotionally. I was like, this is what I wanted, and God has put it for me, because now if I can compete here and I can be better here, I can be better everywhere because I'm playing with the best players in the country, and I'm competing with the best players. So that was it for me. Like that was my prayers. God listened to my prayers,
So what are the expectations moving forward for you, Anderson?
Yeah, expectations. I want to play, but I'm patient about everything. I want to be a team guy. I want to wait for my turn. There's a lot of big guys here, that came before me, that have done a lot of things before me. I'm just a youngin', but that being said, that doesn't mean that I'm not going to compete every day. But I'm going to wait for my right time. I'm going to wait for my time to come. I'm going to put in the work every day. I practice, compete hard. I practice, work hard. And once my time comes, I go out there and deliver. And I'm expecting for this year to be great. Like last year, nothing much different. Just expecting to win the championship again and be like a huge contribution to this team. Like, break into the lineup, have some games, but like I said, I'm not rushing at all. There's more time, there's more games, So I'm just being patient, just taking my time one day at a time. And I hope when the right time is up, God will make a way for me.
Absolutely. Anderson, how's it like working with Frank DeBoer as your head coach?
It's been great. Frank believed in me. He gave me the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Like, this coach haven't been here he's been here for like almost a week, and he discovered who I am as a player. You know what I'm saying? So that says a lot about him. He discovered the best. He's the best coach. And he's a good guy. He respects everybody. He's teaching us the right way to play the game. So working with him is like, and for me, is a heaven for me because this guy is a guy that knows soccer, that played soccer. And for me to work with the best, one of the best coaches and the best players to play the game is anything to me. Like I'm the luckiest guy on earth, not just to be on the best team, but to work with the best coach, like the best European coach, one of them. So like who have the experience. So this is everything for me. I would say 2019 is a great year so far. Like it's going to be a great year because it's not just you get drafted by the number one team. Also, you've been coached by the best coach. Like I would say, one of the best coach in MLS. Like he just got here and is best. So for me to coach with him, like to coach me, to play every game every day, to see his stage in training, it's everything. You got to give the best. You got to give it all, 100%. No cheating, and he's helping us. He's teaching us how to play the game, how to work hard, how to do everything that can help us win the championship again. So I can't expect much better than this at all. This has been great. And I ask God and I thank God for all this. He's putting me over these years. I appreciate it because it's not much better than this at all. Not much better than this. Nobody in college would expect this. Like everybody in college would love to be in my shoes right now because you're coaching by one of the best coaches in MLS. Mm-hmm. So I can't expect much better than this. I don't know. I love the guy. I love the man. He helped me out. He brought me. He literally discovered me. Like, this is Anderson Asiedu. If you guys won't take him, I will take him. This is the guy I want. This is the guy I want to work with. I know what he can bring to the table. So for coach to see something, a European coach see something like that in me, oh, Papa, it's everything. So I give him all my respect, all my love every day and every hour. If he says sleep, I'm going to sleep. If he says do this, I'm doing it. Because he's the man who discovered me from college, like to the MLS. So I can't really take anything for granted with him at all. Not at all. He's like my everything, my father. Yeah.
That's awesome, Anderson. Well, we know that you got to get back to training, so we appreciate the time. We look forward to seeing you this season, and maybe we'll talk to you some point midway to catch back up.
And thank you guys for the opportunity, Thank you guys for giving me the opportunity to share my story and to, share some thoughts about the season. Thank you guys very much. Have a great day.
Yeah,
thank
you too. Thank you.
Great interview with Anderson. I love his positive optimism. His mentality is really infectious, like it's always positive, upbeat, and that's what I gathered from that interview. But Steven, the crazy thing is with Anderson, right now he would take up an international spot for Atlanta United. So this is a pretty big investment to make for a rookie, and I think it shows our belief in Asiedu that, hey, they like him. Frank de Boer really likes him. I think he got a start in one of the earlier preseason matches. He's been playing more with the second team, but like I said, I think his addition can provide depth, and especially with the recent rumors going around that Darlington Nagbe wants to be traded potentially to the Columbus Crew. He's kind of upset with his role. That opens up, Asiedu to move up the depth chart and compete for some playing time, especially with this match fixture congestion that they're going to have the early part of the season.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, my favorite line from the interview is, if coach asks me to sleep, I sleep. And it's not word for word, but I just thought it was so hilarious. I mean, yeah, you can hear the belief that they're putting in him. Not only are they taking an international spot, but just him talking about coach illustrates the belief that the club has in him, and I think it will translate on the pitch when that the people in the ownership group, a front office, and the coaching staff has belief in you. That carries a lot of weight when you're a rookie.
I absolutely agree, Steven, especially when you're a rookie, and especially with the story that Asiedu has had. It's phenomenal. And Frank de Boer, Asiedu said it best. He kind of just came on the job and discovered him because he was the MVP of a 2019 Combine. I mean, I'm not sure if he was on many people's radars for a first-round pick, but I think that international spot scared people off. You usually don't spend an international spot on someone like a rookie. You usually spend it on, maybe a TAM player, like, for example, since we got Minor FC Dallas quota, like a Reto Ziegler. You use it on a guy like that. So a guy like Anderson, once you understand that, you have to think, oh wow, these guys really believe in me, and that means a lot. And the way he spoke about his coach so glowingly, it's so fascinating. But Steven, I want to ask you, with Atlanta United, is generically they got rid of Almiron. When I say got rid, sold him. Looks like Nagby is on his way out. Do we see this Atlanta team? I know it's way too early. We haven't even gotten into the thick of preseason yet. Do you think you have to say this Atlanta team is still up there, but are they potentially better than they were last year? Just on paper, obviously.
Better?
That's a hot take right there.
The problem is the coach has changed, and I know there's a constant debate on what the coach/manager does on the team, and does he have that big an effect? Blah blah blah. I mean, I think the best case study right now is Manchester United. Look at the transition they have between the two managers. The problem is you got to compare it to the rest of the league. Atlanta's the cream of the crop. Did the rest of the league catch up to Atlanta? And I can honestly say I don't know. And more so, I don't think they have. I think Atlanta had such a gap on league. I think Red Bulls might be the second closest.
Mm-hmm.
Did Red Bulls get better this past offseason, Armand?
I'm not sure if they got better, but I feel like it's more of like a Spursy feel, like kind of bringing back the same core group of guys to go like compete. I don't think it's necessarily better, but they remind me more of a Spurs than like a City, for example.
The New York Red Bulls are the Spurs.
It's kind of relatable. Yeah, they always win Supporters' Shields. They can't win anything else.
Yeah, well, at least they've got something in their trophy cabinet.
I absolutely. But the reason why I say about Atlanta is you got a guy like Pity Martinez, who's in the prime of his career. He's the South American Footballer of the Year. And if you see Pity Martinez play at River Plate, the way he plays is phenomenal. And this new
prolific.
Frank de Boer,
it's exciting.
And this new Frank de Boer style is really interesting. That I'm not sure it's like a what's the word? Like a 3-4-3 of sorts. A 3-back line, the 4 midfielders and the 3 forwards, and a Pity kind of more towards the wing. I'm really interested to see how this team is gonna grow because, like you said, new coach, new philosophy.
There's gonna be growing pains, and I think that's gonna hold Atlanta back here in the beginning of the season. I think they'll be closer to the pack, and I do think you're gonna see something in which, remember how Toronto last season really gunned for the Champions League, and it kind of killed their MLS season, but everybody from top executive down to the media members all said, don't take Toronto's record in MLS serious, but it caught up to them on the latter part. They got a Champions League, I think, destroyed them mentally and emotionally. That was a terrible loss. Michael Bradley's PK got sent to Jupiter. It's just... It was demoralizing, and then MLS season kicked in, and they weren't getting the results early on, and they were playing catch-up from the beginning. It's not good. I think Atlanta needs to learn and be very careful in how they manage this first part of the season, and depending on how far they make it into the Champions League.
My thing is counterpoint Red Bulls. And there's no Red Bulls that make the final, but it was a semifinal. That's still a lot of investment and time.
But
I think it's all about depth, and I think Toronto. We said it's the best team in MLS. 2 years ago? I'm not sure if they had the depth, and I think they had a bunch of injury problems and kind of carried into the MLS season. And now I thought Jim was going to be interesting to see how they are. But if you have the depth, I feel like it's kind of an obvious point. It's not a hot sports take here. You're gonna be better off, and I think Atlanta is developing that depth in terms of who they can play week in week out. It's going to be interesting because you get to see a guy like George Bello at left back, 16 years old, or maybe a guy like Andrew Carlton at center mid, some academy prospects.
No, you're right, but that's the thing. Toronto did not have that depth, and it caught up with them, not necessarily in the Champions League, but definitely in the MLS season.
Yeah, I agree, 100%.
So Atlanta, I think, probably learns from that. They look at what Red Bulls were able to do and said, how were Red Bulls able to make it to the semifinals, and then were able to have a successful MLS season that carried them to the Supporters' Shield.
I'll give you a hint. Starts with developing USL players.
That wasn't a hint. That was just the answer. But
yeah, I know.
No, I mean, it's a great case in point to what you and I actually talked a little bit about on tomorrow's episode regarding USL League 1. Listeners, you got to come back for tomorrow's episode now. But, Armand, Atlanta United, last question before we say goodbye for today. Do we think they want the Champions League trophy more than the MLS Cup?
Yes. Who doesn't? Everyone wants the Champions League over the MLS Cup. Everyone. You play the MLS Cup to win the league, go into the Champions League, and then you go get the Club World Cup. Atlanta at the Club World Cup would be phenomenal. But, I mean, Champions League's starting up real soon, man. I'm really interested to see how these teams are going to be, and will we see an MLS team win it this year? I mean, I don't know.
Are we going to see another Colorado Rapids to take it as a preseason?
Yeah. That'd be what Houston Dynamo do.
I think I'm going to give more credit to Houston. I think they'll probably do a little bit better than the Rapids. But, Champions League is actually starting up very soon, huh?
It's going to be fun.
Going to be fun. Listeners, come back tomorrow. Check out our interview with USL League's latest signee for Forward Madison, Carl Schneider. What an interesting journey he has had in the world of football. Follow myself at Steven Jodder. Get Armand's coverage of FC Dallas at Armand Kafai. Jake Watroba, who is normally on the show, isn't here today. Catch him at Jake Watroba for the latest takes on Minnesota United Sports?
Something like that.
Minnesota Sports. Anyway, 5-star review, subscribe. We'll be back tomorrow. Bye.